What's good, everyone? How are you doing? I hope you're having a great time. I know I have been having a great time. I'm not unemployed, sad, and jaded on multiple levels, considering taking a bath with some equipments that you might find in a kitchen. So don't ask, I'm fine. I'm so fine. Doing great. So, today I decided to talk a little bit about ugliness and what it means to feel ugly. Now, I know that some of y'all might say, but Cam, how can you feel ugly? How can this sexy, strong god feel any less of an exuberant beauty all the time? And you cannot be further from truth. I honestly oftentimes feel ugly. There is this narrative in my head that whenever I cross path with Mirror, I hear
He was ugly as fuck. He was so fucking ugly. Like, he was so ugly that I wouldn't even hissed in his mouth if his guts were on fire. He was so ugly.
This is not a story about me feeling ugly about myself. I mean, it is, but it's a story about me getting catfished. There's a caveat to that. I was trying to catfish the catfish. I know that today I'm this hot, handsome man that you can't ever have, but honestly, when I was growing up, puberty hit me. As a child, I was okay. I was kind of cute, even, like I would say that. Like, I'm gonna put up a picture right here for you to judge. And I'm doing it with a peace of mind because if you're a pedophile who just came by this channel, help yourself. This is my treat to you. This child does not exist anymore in real life. He has turned into this bullshit that you're seeing. That's practically what puberty felt for me. I had to go from this to this. And as you can see, there is quite a difference, and my body had to cope with it in unspeakable ways. I never had acne, by the way. As I was growing up, when puberty hit me, I got a little bit big. Not so big. There were bigger kids than me in the school, but I think I was like the easy one to fuck with. But I was the fat kid with a desk attributed to his nicknames. People were trying so hard to scratch bullshit on it. It started great, like there were tank ass, potato. There were so many good catchy slurs that people used to call me for being fat. But after a while, it was just a random word like lamp, chair, table, fork. People were obsessed with that desk. That didn't really shatter my ego, not at all. I feel so confident even till today. So yeah, that's basically where my mental state was in regards of body image and self-worth. So another thing happened, by the way, when I hit puberty. I got horny. And even though masturbating was a fun little project that I had, but it was time for me to move on because my penis was eroding. That's what you get from being an only child. I had no one to teach me how to masturbate, and I was too shy to ask my peers. So the thing that I did was that I started experimenting. There was this like instinctual desire to put it in some hole, but I might have started with a drain. I kid you not, like that's where I put my dick. It has scratched the fuck out of my penis, and by the time I got to the point with the tube socks, I already had lost half of my sensation, and I still do blame it on circumcision, but that might have also been a contributing factor. So yeah, I needed to find someone in my life, and that's practically what I did. But there's a caveat, I'm a 90s kid, and we didn't have Tinder back then. And I'm also like from Iran, so there was a little bit of a stigma around the whole idea of like dating. If you're younger than 25, then you might not remember that Facebook used to be a cool website that you had to type facebook.com every time. Anyway, I hopped onto Facebook. I obviously couldn't do it on my main account because I was a celebrity back then. I already had maxed out my 5,000 friend capacity. And yeah, that's what internet influencer meant back then. We didn't have followers, we didn't have subscribers, we didn't have lackeys, the fan base. We didn't have any of those things. We had friends. We befriended people who we just added because we wanted to sound cool. Even though they were just a number, it ruined the concept of friendship. But yeah, anyway, so I didn't want to do it on my own account. I decided to open up a fake account. And after I was just plowing between prostitutes, male and female. That's how the anonymous world works. You face many things, and by all means, I'm pro prostitution, so good for you if you have that on your resume, but you know, that wasn't quite what I was searching for. And back then, when we wanted to do anonymous dating, there was this whole bit where we sent like ASL as a question, and they responded with like age, sex, and location. And after a few messages, if everything worked out, then we would exchange photos. And this experience kind of destroyed whatever was left from my self-worth and positive body image, because every time when we exchanged photos, I got blocked. I mean, I kind of give it to them. I didn't really look good. I was unkempt, and I was like, I should have just shaved my beard, because that wasn't a beard, it was just some pitch fuzz, but kind of gross. So I mean, yeah, of course, I understand now that, first of all, I was texting shitty people. I was also a shitty person myself, and I could have done better. It all came to the point where I came by this profile with a very prominent profile picture. It was just amazing. Like, it was just whatever I wanted and more. And I didn't want to fuck it up. I knew that there was a chance for it to be a catfish, but I was willing to take that risk, which now on a hindsight, I would say that I didn't have to do that. You know, it didn't worth it. My scheme was, I went super hard on how I don't care about superficial things like looks and shit, and they were super responsive to that. Like, they took the bait, and I was like, I don't really like that we never do, you know, blind dating thing anymore. It's always, yeah, I want to see some surprise. I want to, experience the person the way they're meant to experience be with the soul of the person. So yeah, all those crap. But I went down on the situation. I mean, I even told them that I've lost my brother last week. I just wanted to meet them and shame them, you know. Shitty moves. But I was underage, so you can't really hold that against me. It was just my dumb 16-year-old brain plotting evil plots. What an incel. Fuck me. I managed to finally convince this person, and I mean, it wasn't like much of a convincing, and they were like, oh, that's super cool that you think like that. There are not so many people left like you. I told them that let's meet tomorrow, and I was super invested. So the next day came, and we went on a date. And to my knowledge, a 45-year-old. But I mean, I can't really blame them on anything other than me being stupid enough to tell them that I was 21, which I kind of passed as 21 at that point. So, but yeah, I went there and saw this. Okay, I'm not ugly and I can do better than this. But it was my words. They brought it up that I really liked you when you said that you don't care about looks. And I was like, yeah, aren't I a sweetheart? I'm so genuine. I'm so gracious and open-minded and deep. What do you think I did? You think I said no? But I was super shy, and by super shy, I mean without a shred of self-worth, and didn't know how to set boundaries. And so yeah, basically that's what happened. So I mean, I wouldn't say it was a traumatic experience for me, because honestly I've seen worse, but it was a really fucked up situation that I found myself in, and that's basically how my dating life started. I guess the moral of the story is that if you feel like you're ugly, don't look in the mirror that much, and most certainly do not do anonymous dating. Don't try to catfish people. Karma is a bitch. And honestly, like, it gets better at some point. Everyone is beautiful in their own way is such a bullshit thing that you can hear when you're having these sort of thoughts. And I understand it, because I felt nothing when people told me that, oh no, you're not ugly, you're just not good looking. I mean, eventually everything would be better, I guess. Like, at some point you will realize that it's more about self-confidence. As you can see, I'm oozing with it. Yeah, if someone turned out to be a catfish, no matter what you said, if you don't feel comfortable in a situation, you should definitely say no and it doesn't matter at the end of the day. I mean, you don't have to be a bitch about it. You can say it in a nice way. You can just say, oh, something came up and bye. But yeah, definitely don't entertain the idea to the point that they turn into a stalker of yours and ruin your life for the next 3 months. Thank you for watching again. And if you like the video, consider subscribing to the channel. I do this sort of shit from time to time and some other shit that you can check out. And see you in the next video. Okay, so this is the end. I don't know how to wrap it up, but practically just bye.